Philadelphia police have identified a suspect in connection with a deadly shooting inside a North Philly barber shop. 44-year-old Armand Hilton is wanted for murder, robbery, and related charges. Police say he shot and killed Natifa Wade inside a barber shop on Lehigh Avenue on Saturday.
I lost my mind.
Because I look at you different. Why the about my baby mom? I don't give it. Yo, if you ever was to talk to her, she'd tell you that.
I would never talk to that on my level. She ain't do nothing to me, and she never been in my circle. She never been around me.
And you've been bringing it up. So now I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm never gonna touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You married this nigga, I'm blowing this head off on everything I love. I'm going to touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You married this nigga, I'm blowing this head off on everything I love. I'm going back to prison.
She walked in like it was just another Saturday. Hair done, nails done, tight jeans, clean hoodie. Her boy beside her, maybe 6, maybe 7. She told him to sit still in the chair, flashed a smile to the barber, leaned on the wall like this. Was routine. She didn't know someone had been watching her for weeks. Waiting. He came in quiet, no yelling, no warning, just walked in through the same door like he had every right to be there. Nobody flinched at first. He didn't look mad, didn't even blink. He reached into his coat. By the time anybody understood, it was too late. The first shot ripped through her chest. She gasped, staggered, grabbed for something that wasn't there. The second went through her head. She dropped where she stood. No drama, no slow fall. Just down. Her son screamed. The whole shop froze. Clippers dropped. Chairs flipped. Somebody hit the floor crying. The smell of powder filled the room. He didn't run. He just turned around and walked out like he'd finished a job. And he had.
I lost my mind.
Because I look at you different. Why the about my baby mom? I don't give it. Yo, if you ever was to talk to her, she'd tell you that.
I would never talk to that on my level. She ain't do nothing to me, and she never been in my circle. She never been around me.
And you've been bringing it up. So now I'm never gonna touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You married this nigga, I'm blowing this head off on everything I love. I'm going to touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You married this nigga, I'm blowing this head off on everything I love. I'm going back to prison.
She wasn't supposed to die like that. Not in front of her son, not in a barber shop, not on a random Saturday. But the truth is, this wasn't random. Tiffany Wade wasn't just a woman with a good smile and expensive taste. She was ambition, in heels, hustle with lashes. A woman who built her own table and sat at the head of it. To the world, she was goals. To some, she was too confident, too loud, too in control. But to one man, the wrong man, she was something else entirely. Now, before we ask how it happened, we need to ask the harder question, who was she, really? Before we go into this story, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button if you'll love to get updates from this channel. She wasn't just a woman with money, she was a woman who made it. Tiffany Wade didn't come from luxury, she clawed her way into it. She started out like a lot of girls in Philly, nothing handed to her, everything earned with grit, silence, and sharp decisions. But Tiffany knew how to flip pain into power. By her mid-30s, she had her name on property deeds, multiple businesses, cash moving in different states, Philly, Miami, Atlanta. She didn't just own real estate, she posted up in it like a queen. She was the woman people envied, the woman other women copied. The one who didn't beg for respect. She walked in the room and took it. Instagram knew her as the one with the glossy skin, expensive wine, and birthday parties that looked like movie sets. She talked about manifestation, loyalty, and leveling up. She told girls to get the bag, not the bare minimum. She wore designer like it was stitched into her DNA. Even her smile had hustle behind it. But all that shine, it wasn't built. Alone, there was a man behind it, a man who handed her the keys to the houses, the businesses, the life. When he went away, he trusted she'd hold it down, protect it, wait for him. Instead, she locked him out of it all. She stopped answering his calls, changed her number, transferred everything into her name. Then she married someone else. She erased him. On paper, it looked like Tiffany had built her empire with her own 2 hands. But behind the filters and flights was a history soaked in secrets, and one man who refused to be forgotten. His name was Armand Hilton. And he wasn't done with her. Before the parties, before the beachfront condos, before the courtside seats, and Chanel. There was Armand Hilton. He wasn't polished, he wasn't gentle, but in Philly, people knew better than to play with his name. Armand wasn't the kind of man who needed to talk loud to be feared. He moved smart, moved quiet, handled his business in the street the same way he handled it in real estate, with control. To some, he was a drug dealer turned investor. To others, he was just a hustler who figured out how to turn dirty money into clean property. But to Tiffany at one point he was everything, the provider, the gatekeeper, the one who gave her the keys before she knew how to unlock the doors. She didn't earn her empire alone. He handed it to her, the houses, the rental units, the six-figure accounts, the LLCs with her name at the top. When he got locked up, he didn't hide assets. He gave them to her. Not a few cars, not a little pocket change, everything. He believed in her. Or maybe he thought she owed him. Either way, it was trust. On a level most men would never give. That's what made the betrayal burn deeper than money. While he sat in a prison cell, writing letters and thinking about home, she was outside taking his silence as a green light. At first, she told him things were fine. She'd answer his calls. She played the part, but months passed. She started pulling away, started making moves on her own, stopped visiting, changed how she answered the phone, then stopped answering altogether. By the time he got out, everything he thought was his was gone. Signed. Switched. Sealed. The woman he trusted with his empire had wiped him off the map like he was never part of it. And Armand, he didn't just lose a woman, he lost his legacy. In the beginning, Tiffany played her role. She answered every call. She kept her voice soft, reassuring. "We good, baby. I got you." She visited when she could, made sure his commissary stayed full. She told him the businesses were fine, that everything was still under control, that nothing had changed. But that wasn't the truth. What started as holding it down turned into Tiffany running the whole operation. The houses, the tenants, the money, the brand, all in her hands now. And somewhere along the way, she stopped asking for permission. At first it was small things, signing her own name on business forms, making choices without checking in. Then it became real power, legal documents, asset transfers, new investments he never approved. She wasn't just protecting his legacy anymore. She was owning it, and it felt good. She had access to everything, cars, cash, respect, and nobody questioned it. They saw her face, they saw her grind, they believed the story. That she built this, she stopped picking up every call, then stopped picking up at all. When she did answer, her tone changed, short, cold. She didn't ask how he was doing. She didn't say, "I miss you." It was just, "I'm busy," or "I'll call you back." She never did. By the time Armand realized what was happening, she was already gone. Not just emotionally, legally, financially, spiritually. Everything she had once called theirs was now fully hers. He was still in the cage. But she was outside, thriving, dressing better, smiling harder, spending louder. She wasn't his woman anymore. She was a woman in control, and he was just a man watching it all from the other side of a phone line. No warning, no heads up, no, "We need to talk," just papers. One morning, Armand's cell block. Officer called his name for mail. He opened the envelope, expecting a letter, maybe a photo of her, or a message from their son. Instead, it was divorce papers, stamped, filed, final. While he was still behind bars, still scribbling T-Wade on letters, still signing commissary slips with the hope of going home to the same woman. She was done. In silence, she transferred. Every deed, every bank account, every business, all of it. What was once his, the empire they built together, was now under her full name. No shared anything, no joint returns, no co-ownership. He didn't just lose his place in her life. She wiped his name off everything, and then she did the one thing he never thought she would. She remarried. Quick, quiet, clean, and the message wasn't just legal. It was personal. She made sure he saw the ring, the new man, the trips, the toasts, the captions. She was living like he had never existed. Every flex on Instagram was a jab. Every birthday post, every champagne glass, every quote about new beginnings, it all screamed, "I don't need you. I never did." But she underestimated something, because Armand wasn't watching like a man who missed her. He was watching like a man who'd been robbed of his loyalty, of his trust, of his future. And silence in a man like that is never peace. It's pressure, building, waiting, ready to explode.
You don't have a tripod at all? Somebody stole it. Somebody stole it? Somebody gave it. I burnt my leg. I lost my mind. I was only drunk because I didn't have no food. Nobody cared that I didn't have food. Y'all just kept giving me Patron. I didn't have any food all night long, and I pay all the money for that food. Hey, y'all. I look a mess. I don't even care. Huh? Oh, they about to walk in. I'm opening up gifts. I should at least lay that down. Where the Joe? Huh? Gift cards. All right, so listen. 150 on here. I'll wait for more people to come. Mom, for real. It's 150 on that gift card? Mom.
When Armand walked out of prison, he didn't come home to anything. No welcome, no hug, no waiting woman. Everything he once knew was gone. The house wasn't his. The money had been moved, his name stripped off every document like he was a ghost, but still, he called her. He wasn't yelling, not at first, just trying to understand, trying to talk like two people with history should be able to talk. He asked about the properties, asked for a meeting, asked her to explain why she had done what she did. She didn't answer. Then she did and laughed in his face, not gently, not nervously. She laughed like nothing about him mattered. Like the pain he was in was funny, like he was just another bitter man who couldn't accept that he'd been replaced. When the laughing didn't stop, the begging started. He told her, "Tiff, just be fair." He told her, "I put everything in your name because I trusted you." He told her, "I don't want to fight. I just want what's mine." She hit record, then she hit upload. She posted the call on social media, not to protect herself, but to humiliate him, captioned it like a punchline. Her voice in the background taunting him, calling him broke, calling him pressed. Her friends laughed in the comments. Her followers dropped fire emojis. The whole internet got a seat at their private war. That's when his voice changed. No more begging, no more soft tones. Just one clear message: I'm never touching you again. I'm never laying a hand on you. But you marry that nakah? I'm blowing this up on everything I love. It wasn't shouted, it wasn't wild, it was calm, too calm, like a decision had already been made. She didn't flinch. She went right back online, dismissed it, called him crazy, told people she wasn't scared. She should have been, because after that call he went quiet. No more texts, no more calls, no more outbursts, just silence, and silence from a man like Armand. That's never nothing, that's planning. It was a regular Saturday. Tiffany had errands to run, places to be.
My mind.
But first, her son needed a haircut. Clean shape-up for the week ahead. Nothing out of the ordinary. She pulled up to the like she always did.
On my level.
No
She ain't
security,
do nothing
no
to me,
second
and she never been in my circle. She never been around me.
And you've been bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. So now I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm never gonna touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You married this nigga, I'm blowing this head off on everything I love. I'm going back to prison.
Philadelphia police have identified a suspect in connection.
Contains
Familiar
mature
routine.
themes, including topics of
walked in,
obsession,
greeted the
betrayal
barber,
and violent
told her
acts,
son to sit
which
tight.
some viewers may
She
find
stood off to the
distressing.
side, scrolling through
Viewers'
her phone,
discretion
posting
is
on her
strongly
story,
advised. At the heart
probably
of it
texting
all
someone
was
about
Tiffany
dinner.
Natifa Wade.
Plans later, she looked good, hair done, nails fresh. The same woman the city had gotten used to
To
watching
the
blow
outside
up
world,
online.
she seemed unstoppable.
Outside, Armand was already
A
there.
woman who built
No
her
engine
empire
running,
from the ground
no
up,
getaway car
juggling
in sight.
multiple
He didn't
businesses
storm in.
with the
He
grace
didn't
of
wear a
someone
mask.
who made
He
success
walked
look easy.
in like he belonged there.
She was a
Calm,
mother,
cold,
a businesswoman,
focused. Nobody
a
said
symbol
word.
of ambition.
The barbers paused.
If
The
you
room
scrolled
shifted.
through her
Something
Instagram,
changed
you'd see
the second
luxury,
he stepped in.
designer
He wasn't
clothes,
yelling. He wasn't even
first-class
looking
flights,
around. His
high-end
eyes
real
went
estate.
straight to her.
But that
He
wasn't
didn't
just for
argue.
show.
He didn't ask why.
She had worked
He
for
reached
it.
into his coat.
She had earned it.
The first shot hit her
At
in
least,
the chest.
that's
it wasn't
what she
messy.
wanted the
it
world
wasn't
to
loud,
believe.
just fast.
Because behind the
Her
carefully
body
curated
jolted
images,
backward, knees
there was
buckled,
another story.
Lips parted like she wanted
One
to
she
say
didn't
something.
post online.
She didn't get the chance.
One that
The
didn't
second
come with
bullet
filters,
ended it right to the head.
motivational
Quick,
captions, or
precise.
perfectly
Her
staged
son
photos.
Screamed. The
It was a
whole
past
barbershop
tied to a
fell
man
into
who knew her
chaos.
better than anyone.
Clippers hit the floor.
A man who
Chairs
had
flipped
once
over.
given her everything,
Grown men ducked
only
for
to
cover,
have it all
diving
ripped
behind
away.
walls,
Armand
grabbing.
Hilton.
Kids praying they
To
wouldn't
those
be
who knew
next.
him,
Somebody
Armand
shouted,
wasn't
somebody
just another
cried,
man from
but
the
Tiffany
streets of
didn't
Philadelphia.
Move. Her body was on the floor,
He was a
twisted in
survivor,
a way that told everyone
a
she was
man
gone
navigate
before
a
she hit
world
it.
that wasn't
And
built to
Armand,
be kind to
he
him.
didn't stay.
But survival
Didn't check
came
if
at a
she was
cost.
still breathing.
His name
Didn't point the
carried
gun
weight,
at anyone else.
but
Didn't
it
say
also
a
carried
word.
warnings.
He turned and walked
There were
out the same
whispers
way
about
he
his
came
past.
in. No panic,
Run-ins with the
no
law,
rush,
money
just
that
gone
didn't always
into
come
the
from
streets.
clean hands,
And
and a
for the second
reputation
time,
that kept
he
people
left her
on
with
edge.
everything. Only this
Tiffany?
time,
She saw
it
something
was
different.
blood.
There's so many cords. Please continue. This one, you got a light that warms everyone around you, that glows with fitness and radiates the wisdom of one woman who is beautiful inside and out. You deserve a day that is wonderful as you are. That's so pretty. That's from Samina, 2023. There's another one though, and it says you do whatever you want to do. You don't listen. Yeah, this one. Your melanin popping. No, your melanin is popping. Look serving. Dream having, hardworking, goal-getting self is giving me life. Love Lily and her beautiful husband. Lily is so beautiful and her husband is so beautiful. Their energy is just beautiful together. It's one of those things, like, you know, you see people on social media and they post each other a lot and they always somewhere together and it's like really real. Like they just was together. And she paid $300 for her husband because she was not about to not come without her husband, okay? She paid the money for her husband and they look so pretty. They look beautiful. They sat in the window. They took pictures. They ate. They drank. They danced. They was on the dance floor. And we've never hung out together, ever. They can come back to every party I hate. They was nice. They was real nice. Yeah. I'm tired. I'm beat. I'm tired. I went straight from Jamaica, straight back to the party, straight from the party to a funeral, then straight all the way back home. And I'm just so thankful for everybody. And I got engaged. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for everything. Shemai still got my glasses on, little tip.
The city shook. One moment, she was just another mother out with her child. The next, she was a headline. Woman executed inside barbershop. Child witnessed everything. Her name was everywhere. Her photos, her business page, her birthday videos. Her Instagram reels flooded timelines like a tribute until people realized this wasn't just a loss. This was murder. Cold, personal, public. The blood was still drying on the barbershop floor when the footage hit the news. Local anchors whispered words like domestic violence and obsession, betrayal. But none of that felt big enough. Not for what happened here. Not for what her son had to see. Not for the way she was taken. The shop shut down. Yellow. Tape covered the windows. Flowers started piling up outside by sunset. Candles, cards, handwritten notes that said things like, "She didn't deserve this, and you were light." Her son's scream, caught on video, retold by witnesses, lingered in the air longer than the gunshots. People couldn't believe it. She was loved. She helped people. She was changing her life. Others muttered something colder. He couldn't let her win. He was obsessed. She took too much and thought he'd never come back for it. The police moved fast. They had the name within the hour, Armand Hilton, and the motive was clear to anyone who had been watching their story unfold online. He was no stranger to the system. His face was easy to find. Mugshots flooded every screen. News apps sent out push notifications. Social media lit up with rage. Catch him before he kills someone else. He murdered her in front of her, son, and just walked away. We saw the signs. Why didn't anyone stop this? The manhunt launched immediately. Helicopters circled. Warrants issued. Officers pounded on doors. He was labeled armed and dangerous before the sun went down, but by then, he was already gone, and the city was left staring at itself, asking the only question that mattered. How did no one stop this when we all saw it coming? Weeks turned to months. Still no arrest, still no trace, no security footage from a train, no highway cameras catching his plates, no burner phones lighting up towers. Nothing. Armand Hilton had walked into a crowded barbershop, shot a woman dead in front of her child, and disappeared like smoke. The city waited. News anchors gave updates with tired eyes. Police spokesman repeated the same lines. We are actively pursuing leads. But nothing changed. No cuffs, no courtroom, just silence. And in that silence, the questions started multiplying. Did someone help him run? Did he cross state lines before the APB even hit? Did he slip out of Philly using one of those routes only street legends know? Or was it something darker? Some say he never left the city, that he's moving around in plain sight, shaving every few days, switching phones, changing cars. That someone, maybe a cousin, a girl, a business partner, is hiding him. That he's just waiting, watching, breathing the same air as the people looking for him. Others believe he's long gone, south, maybe out the country. Somewhere warm, somewhere lawless, where nobody asks questions if you've got cash. He knew the game too well, they say. He'd planned this. He wasn't acting off impulse. He was cleaning up the past. But the scariest theory? That this wasn't the end of the story. That Armand isn't done, because a man who moves like that, precise, patient, unbothered, doesn't vanish unless he wants to. And if he wanted to disappear, he could. Just like he did. But if he's still out there, angry, alone and free, then what's next? And who?
I smile at you. I see. But I don't think it's smile. I smile every. I was smiling. I was dancing. I was too. Nah, thank y'all so much. Kisses.
With a cold-blooded barbershop murder impacting more than just the victim's friends.
Police say a gunman executed a man while wearing a garment associated with the Muslim community. For more on how religious leaders are reacting to the troubling crime, we go to Action News reporter Maggie Kent in Germantown now. Maggie.
Sarah and Brian, I spoke to an imam who has a masjid just a few blocks away from here. He's concerned about the violence, and concerned about there being any pushback once this video is released. Police are looking for this man who they say targeted his victim, shooting him at point-blank range. He's seen walking up to the barbershop on the 5900 block of Germantown Avenue, then running from the scene. It happened at 1:15 in the afternoon, Thursday, April 6th. The 35-year-old victim...
When you strip away the blood, the cameras, the headlines and the hashtags, what are you left with? A man kills a woman in broad daylight. A child watches his mother collapse in a pool of her own blood. A city watches the footage. And then everyone starts asking the same question. Why? Was it love? Was it heartbreak? Was it revenge? Was it ego? Or was it something deeper? Something that sits between all of those words and refuses to be boxed in? Armand Hilton didn't shoot a stranger. He didn't rob a store. He didn't kill in a fit of random rage. He shot the woman he once trusted with everything. The woman he believed would ride for him until the end. The woman who smiled in his face while he handed her the keys to an empire and promised her the world, only to walk away with the whole. Map when his back was turned. Tiffany Wade wasn't naive. She wasn't some helpless victim who got caught in a storm she didn't see coming. She was smart, calculated, respected. She built her life to be untouchable. But maybe that confidence became a blind spot. Maybe she thought the same charm that won him over once could silence him later, or maybe she really believed he wouldn't dare. But he did. This wasn't just a lover scorned. This was a man who lost everything, his money, his name, his power, and then watched the woman he gave it all to turn it into her own brand. She posted success. She posted peace. She posted another man putting a ring on her finger, and each time she clicked share, he saw it as proof that the life he built was being lived without him. This was never just about love, not in the fairy tale sense. This was about control, about legacy, about identity, and that's the part nobody wants to admit, because what happened in that barbershop wasn't just one man snapping. It was years of silence, resentment, and humiliation, packing themselves into 2 bullets, and a decision he'd been making long before he walked through that door. You can call it a crime of passion. You can call it premeditated murder. You can say she deserved better. You can say he was pushed too far. You can say both, but here's the truth. This story is a mirror. A reflection of what happens when loyalty is treated like a loan and betrayal comes dressed as survival. When 2 people build something together and one walks away like the other never mattered, someone always pays. In the end, Tiffany lost her life. Her son lost his mother, Armand lost his freedom again, and the city lost another piece of its soul. This wasn't just about a woman he loved. It was about the empire she took. The control she claimed, the man she erased. So now the question comes to you. What was this really about? Was Tiffany just moving on with her life, or did she know the fire she was walking through? Was Armand reacting in pain, or executing a plan he'd been waiting to finish? Tell us what you think. Was this a tragedy born from love or a lesson in power lost? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you felt this story in your chest, not just in your eyes, then subscribe. Because some stories aren't just told, they're warnings dressed as real life.